Welcome to the Immersion Zone. Today we're reviewing Your Career and/or Life as a Scuba Diving Instructor by Darcy Kieran.
All right, ready to go deep.
hmm
Today, we're going to explore what it really takes to be a scuba diving instructor.
Oh, I like this.
You know how you're always up for learning something new,
Always.
maybe even thinking about a career change?
Yeah.
Well, this deep dive is for you. We're going way beyond those, picture-perfect postcards.
Right.
We're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what it means to make a living as a scuba diving pro.
I love it.
So we've got Darcy Kieran's book, Your Career and/or Life as a Scuba Diving Instructor. And we've also got this awesome survey of over 657 actual instructors.
Wow, that's a lot of data.
It is. So we're getting like the insider perspective and
Yeah.
then some hard numbers to help you understand if this is the path for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's fascinating to me is most people just see the fun, adventurous side of scuba diving,
Right.
but there's this whole business world beneath the surface.
Yeah.
And these instructors are right at the heart of it.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
And this book, it doesn't just tell you to follow your dreams.
Right.
Kieran gets real about the challenges from the very first page.
Oh, yeah.
Starting with this pretty crazy story about his own open water certification.
Oh, I remember that, where he almost drowned.
Yeah, his instructor got totally distracted.
Oh, geez.
Kieran had to ditch his gear
Lights-
and swim back to the boat,
Oh, my God.
totally out of air.
That's
I
terrifying.
know. Talk about a baptism by fire, right?
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how you even go from an experience like that to teaching others.
Well, it really highlights that loving to dive and being able to teach it well. Those are two completely different things. Passion's great,
Yeah.
but you need solid skills and the safety knowledge
Right.
and this ability to manage people under pressure.
Literally under pressure.
Yeah, literally under pressure.
And you know what I appreciated is that he doesn't sugarcoat his own mistakes,
Right.
as a dive shop owner.
I think we all make those.
Remember that part where he talks about how he kept buying all the cool high-tech gear
Oh, yeah, yeah.
instead of focusing on stuff that would actually sell?
Oh, classic entrepreneur blunder, right.
Right.
But it's a great lesson for anyone thinking about this path.
Totally.
Even if you're not opening a shop,
Yeah.
you have to think about the business side of diving,
Mhm.
knowing your market, managing your money
Right from the start.
right from day one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it makes you realize that being a successful scuba instructor
Yeah.
isn't just about breathing underwater.
Right.
It's about understanding how to run a business, market your skills, and create a great experience.
Exactly. And speaking of skills,
Yeah.
the book surprised me by highlighting all these things instructors need beyond just being good divers.
Right.
I mean, you'd expect swimming to be a given,
Sure. Yeah.
but did you know they often end up as like tour guides, compressor mechanics, even swim coaches?
Seriously.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's a lot more than I expected.
Right.
I mean, are these just random side hustles?
Ah.
Or is there like a bigger reason instructors need to be so multi-talented?
Well, I think it's definitely becoming more crucial, especially in like remote locations or on liveaboards.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. If you can fix a compressor
Yeah.
or, offer a snorkeling tour when the weather's bad,
Right.
you're way more valuable to an employer
That's true.
and you can keep earning even when you can't get in the water.
So it's like having a backup plan built right in.
Exactly.
Which makes sense given how the dive industry is changing.
Right.
Like all the online gear sales and competition.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Instructors need to be more versatile
Mm.
and entrepreneurial than ever to stay ahead.
That's a good point.
This actually ties into a fascinating point Kieran makes.
Okay.
He says, a dive center isn't just one business. It's juggling 6 at once.
6. Okay. Break it down for us.
So you've got gear sales,
Um,
training, travel bookings,
Mm.
repairs, rentals, and the fill station.
that's a lot.
It is.
Even if I wasn't opening a shop, just understanding those different revenue streams
Yeah.
would help me decide where to work.
Right.
Or specialize.
Exactly.
Like if I love gear, I'd target shops with the strong retail side.
Exactly. You'd make smart choices
Yeah.
about your career path and
Yeah.
where to focus your energy.
That makes sense.
But on a broader scale,
Mm-hmm.
the book also dives into some worrying trends in the dive industry itself.
Okay.
It's like they're selling this amazing dream of underwater exploration,
Yeah.
yet fewer people are actually diving.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah,
You'd think with all the incredible underwater worlds out there, more people would be hooked.
you would think.
But Kieran points out that a lot of casual divers, they drop out after getting certified.
Mm-hmm.
He blames things like the cost of gear,
Mm-hmm.
inconvenient schedules,
Right?
and sometimes just not having a great experience.
It happens.
And it's fascinating because millions try to discover scuba every year. But the number of active divers is actually shrinking.
Wow.
So it seems like the current approach.
Yeah.
It isn't turning newbies into lifelong enthusiasts.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe it's not enough to just offer a taste of diving.
Right.
They need to feel confident
Yeah.
and skilled enough to enjoy it on their own.
Yeah.
And that brings us to Kieran's insights on effective instruction.
Okay.
It's not just about delivering the textbook material.
Right.
It's about creating an amazing experience that keeps people coming back for more.
I like that.
He even suggests bundling courses into a longer program,
Oh, interesting.
like a 10-dive package.
Right.
Instead of just selling the basic open water course.
Interesting.
That way new divers get enough practice to actually feel comfortable.
Yeah, like anything else, the more you do it, the better you get.
Right.
And the more you enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in today's world, where divers can find information everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
standing out as an instructor is key.
Totally.
Karen says you need to think of yourself as a brand,
Yeah.
especially since dive shops and training agencies can be so inconsistent.
They can be.
Yeah.
Having a strong personal brand is crucial
Mm-hmm.
in any crowded market.
Yeah.
For dive instructors, it's about establishing your expertise,
Right.
showing off your teaching style,
Mm.
and giving your students an unforgettable experience.
That makes sense.
They'll come back for more and recommend you to others.
Exactly. And that's where your love of learning comes in.
Yeah.
You could specialize in something.
Yeah.
Like underwater photography
Oh.
or marine conservation.
Yeah.
Becoming the go-to expert in your niche.
Yeah. Specialization is a great way to stand out
Mm-hmm.
and charge a premium for your services.
Yeah.
Become known for that unique expertise.
Right.
Attract a loyal following.
But before we get too deep into marketing strategies,
Okay.
let's not forget the most important part of all this,
Right.
safety.
Of course.
Karen gives this sobering reminder that as an instructor, you are responsible for your students' well-being,
Absolutely.
even if a dive shop or a client is pushing you to take risks.
You have to have the courage to say no
Yeah.
when conditions aren't safe
Right.
or a diver's isn't ready.
And it's not just about avoiding obvious dangers.
Right.
Kieran talks about how even experienced divers
Yeah.
can develop this normalization of deviance.
Oh.
They start cutting corners or ignoring safety protocols.
Because nothing bad has happened yet, right?
Right. And that's what makes it so dangerous.
Yeah.
That complacency,
It can sneak up on anyone,
even professionals.
even professionals.
Yeah.
It emphasizes why checklists, pre-dive drills,
Mhm.
clear communication, and speaking up when something feels off
Right?
are non-negotiable,
Yeah.
no matter how experienced you are.
Safety first.
Always.
Always.
Absolutely.
And that's a message that resonates throughout the book and the instructor survey.
It does.
But let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about something that might surprise you. The book encourages instructors to look beyond traditional scuba instruction for income,
Okay.
especially because the dive industry can be so seasonal and unpredictable.
Yeah, that's true.
He mentions things like first aid training,
Mm.
snorkeling tours,
Right.
even tankless diving,
Okay.
stuff you might not immediately associate with a scuba instructor.
All right.
But it's all about using your skills and knowledge
Yeah,
in creative ways
I like that.
to build a more stable income.
And if we circle back to those 6 businesses of a dive center,
Right.
it's like instructors can create their own mini dive centers.
Yeah.
By offering a variety of services, they
Yeah.
become more resilient to industry fluctuations.
That's a good point.
Thinking about your own passions and skills, what kind of specialization or side hustle within the dive industry appeals to you most?
Mm-hmm.
What would make you stand out as an instructor?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
There are so many possibilities.
there are.
I'm already picturing myself leading snorkeling tours in crystal clear water,
Nice.
or maybe teaching kids how to free dive.
Oh, cool.
What about you?
Well, it really comes down to what lights you up.
Yeah.
If you're fascinated by the technical side of diving,
Mm-hmm.
maybe becoming a tech diving instructor
Okay.
or specializing in equipment repair would be a good fit.
Yeah.
But if you're more drawn to the educational or environmental aspects,
Right.
think about adaptive scuba instruction,
Yeah.
marine conservation work,
Mhm.
or even developing that snorkeling program for beginners we talked about.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You mentioned adaptive scuba instruction.
Yeah.
That really resonates with me.
Oh, cool.
The idea of helping people with disabilities experience the underwater world is incredibly inspiring.
It is.
It must be so rewarding to see their faces light up when they realize they can fly underwater.
It definitely takes a special kind of instructor, someone with patience,
Right.
empathy, and a deep understanding of the unique challenges and adaptations involved. But the impact you can have on someone's life is immeasurable.
Now, while we're dreaming big about all these possibilities, let's get real for a second and talk about the financial side of things.
Sure.
The book and the survey data don't shy away from the fact that being a scuba instructor isn't always a lucrative career.
That's true. That's a reality check a lot of aspiring instructors need.
Yeah.
This image of a carefree life in paradise
Right.
often clashes with the actual economics of the industry. That survey we mentioned, it found that the average annual salary for a full-time dive instructor in the U.S. is around $25,815.
Wow, that's lower than I expected.
Yeah.
It definitely makes you realize that passion alone won't pay the bills.
It won't. You need a solid business plan.
You do.
And it reinforces the need for instructors to be smart about their finances. They need to understand their costs, market their services effectively, and maybe even look at those side hustles we discussed to create a more stable income.
Kieran actually talks about moving away from the traditional per-course pricing and considering hourly rates instead.
Interesting.
He says it helps instructors value their time and expertise more.
That makes sense.
It does.
That shift in mindset is crucial.
Yeah.
Instead of just focusing on how many certifications you can pump out,
Right.
you start thinking about the true value you bring to your students. You're not just teaching them how to dive.
Right.
You're sharing a passion, opening up a whole new world, and keeping them safe while doing it.
It makes you wonder if those lower salaries are part of the reason some instructors might feel pressured to cut corners.
Yeah.
Or prioritize profit over safety.
That's a good point.
It's a tough position to be in if you're struggling to make ends meet.
It is. That's why financial stability is so important.
Yeah.
Not just for the instructor's well-being, but for the overall safety and quality of the industry when you're not constantly stressed about money. You can focus on what matters most, providing a great learning experience and upholding those high safety standards.
Speaking of safety,
Yeah.
it's a recurring theme throughout the book and the survey responses.
Yeah, it is.
It's clearly something that weighs heavily on an instructor's minds.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I mean, it's not surprising, really,
Yeah.
when you're dealing with an activity that inherently carries some risk.
Right.
Like scuba diving,
Yeah.
safety has to be paramount.
It does.
Instructors have a huge responsibility to their students.
They do.
And that means being proactive, vigilant,
Yeah.
and never compromising on those safety protocols.
Yeah. Kieran has this concept of teaching defensively,
Oh, yeah.
which I found really interesting.
I like that, too.
It's like, instead of just reacting to problems as they arise, you're constantly anticipating them,
Yeah.
planning for worst-case scenarios,
Right.
and never assuming that everything will go perfectly.
That proactive mindset is what separates good instructors from great ones.
I think so.
It's about going beyond the basic safety drills and cultivating a deep sense of awareness, risk assessment, and preparedness.
I agree.
And sometimes that means making tough calls,
Right.
like postponing a dive.
Yeah.
Conditions aren't right or a student isn't fully ready.
It reminds me of that story he tells about almost getting into a dangerous situation because he thought he was too experienced to need a checklist.
Right.
That God complex can be a real trap.
It can.
Even for seasoned professionals. It just goes to show that complacency can sneak up on anyone, no matter how skilled or experienced you are.
Right.
Checklists, drills,
Yeah.
and a healthy dose of humility.
Right.
Those are essential tools for maintaining that safety-first culture.
And it's not just about personal responsibility.
Right.
It's about creating a culture of safety within your dive groups.
Yeah, I agree.
Kieran emphasizes the importance of clear communication, setting expectations, and encouraging students to speak up if they have any concerns or questions.
That's important.
He wants to empower everyone to contribute to a safe and enjoyable experience.
Absolutely. Everyone involved has a role to play in maintaining safety.
Yeah.
It's a shared responsibility that requires open communication, mutual respect, and a willingness to speak up if something doesn't feel right.
He also talks about the importance of having a solid emergency action plan.
Right.
And knowing how to handle diving-related incidents.
Yeah.
It's not just about teaching people to dive.
Right.
It's about being prepared for the unexpected and knowing how to respond effectively if something goes wrong.
Being prepared for emergencies is crucial.
Yeah.
That means knowing what to do if equipment fails.
Yep.
Someone experiences decompression sickness, or any other diving-related incident occurs. It also involves having the necessary first aid and rescue skills and knowing how to communicate effectively with emergency services.
It's a lot to take on.
It is.
But it's also what makes the role of a scuba instructor so meaningful. You're not just teaching a skill.
Right.
You're sharing a passion and entrusted with people's safety and well-being.
Yeah.
It's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
But the rewards can be incredible.
There's nothing quite like guiding someone through their first underwater breath.
Oh, I bet.
Or witnessing the awe and wonder in their eyes as they encounter a majestic sea turtle.
Oh, wow.
Or a vibrant coral reef.
Amazing.
Those moments make all the challenges worth it.
Now, for those who dream of taking their passion to the next level,
yeah,
the book also explores the option of owning a dive center.
Okay.
A whole different ball game, right?
It definitely requires a different level of commitment, business acumen, and financial resources.
Yeah.
Kieran advises anyone considering this path to do their homework.
Yeah.
Research the market, understand the complexities of running a multifaceted business, and develop a solid business plan.
He stresses the importance of location.
Right.
Suggesting that dive centers in tourist destinations or areas with a high concentration of affluent divers tend to be more profitable.
Makes sense.
It does.
You need a steady stream of customers who are willing and able to spend money on diving.
But even if opening a dive center isn't your goal, the book's insights on marketing, branding, and customer service are valuable for any aspiring instructor.
Absolutely.
Whether you're working for a dive shop or building your own brand as an independent instructor.
Right.
You need to know how to attract clients and create a great experience for them.
That's a key takeaway.
It is.
In today's competitive market, you need to stand out.
Yeah.
Kieran encourages instructors to think beyond traditional marketing methods and utilize social media, online reviews, word-of-mouth referrals. It's all about building a strong online presence.
Right.
Cultivating those personal connections.
It's not just about getting people in the door.
Right.
It's about creating a community and fostering a sense of belonging. People are more likely to return to a dive center or instructor they feel connected to and trust.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about providing exceptional customer service, going the extra mile to make people feel valued, and creating a positive and welcoming environment where they feel comfortable learning and exploring.
Now, there's one point in the book that I found both surprising and a bit concerning.
Okay.
Kieran's critique of the dive industry's reliance on training agencies.
Oh, yeah.
He seems to think they're part of the problem.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's definitely a thought-provoking perspective.
It is.
He argues that the current system, where training agencies act as gatekeepers for certification and often prioritize their own profits over the well-being of the industry as a whole, is contributing to some of the challenges facing instructors.
It's like they're churning out new instructors without necessarily addressing the lack of job opportunities or providing adequate support for professional development.
It seems like a recipe for frustration and disillusionment.
It definitely raises some important questions about the role of training agencies in a rapidly evolving industry.
Right.
Should they continue operating as they have for decades?
Yeah.
Or do they need to adapt to better serve the needs of both instructors and the diving community?
Kieran's view is that instructors need to be more proactive in taking control of their own careers and not relying solely on training agencies for guidance or support. He encourages them to seek out mentors, participate in professional development programs, and really take ownership of their future.
That self-reliance is becoming increasingly important.
It is.
It's about recognizing that your career is ultimately in your hands.
Yeah.
You need to be proactive in developing your skills, building your brand, seeking out opportunities that align with your goals and values.
And it's about realizing that the future of the dive industry depends on the passion, professionalism, and entrepreneurial spirit of its instructors.
I agree.
They're the ones who will shape the industry and inspire the next generation of divers.
That's a powerful thought.
It is.
It's a reminder that every instructor has the potential to make a real difference. not just in the lives of their students,
Right.
but in the industry as a whole.
So as you consider the possibility of becoming a scuba diving instructor,
Mm-hmm.
what aspects of the profession, as presented in the book and the survey results, resonate with you the most?
Yeah.
What stands out as particularly exciting or challenging? You know, it's funny.
What's that?
We started by talking about almost drowning in side hustles,
Right.
and now we're like pondering the future of the entire dive industry.
It's true.
This deep dive really takes you on a journey.
It does. It makes you think.
Yeah.
Going through all this material with you has really highlighted the contrast between that romanticized image of being a scuba instructor and the reality of what it takes to actually make it work as a business.
Totally. It seems like you need a mix of passion,
Yeah.
practical skills,
Right.
business savvy,
Mm-hmm.
and this unwavering commitment to safety to really thrive.
Yeah.
It's not just about diving. It's about building a sustainable career
Right.
and contributing to a culture of responsibility within the industry.
Absolutely.
That last point about training agencies really stuck with me.
Yeah, me too.
It makes you wonder if we sometimes put too much trust in those organizations
Yeah,
without questioning their role and influence.
for sure.
You know, they're the ones setting the standards, controlling the certifications.
Right.
But maybe we need to be more critical and advocate for changes that benefit both instructors and the diving community as a whole.
Yeah, I agree.
So what do you think? Could instructors have more power to shape the industry?
I think they absolutely could.
Okay.
Especially if they band together, support each other, and push for greater transparency and accountability within the training agencies.
Yeah.
Imagine if instructors had more input into the curriculum, the certification process, the overall direction of the industry.
That would be pretty amazing.
It would.
To see instructors take more ownership and leadership, driving positive change.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of what makes this deep dive so compelling.
Yeah.
It's not just about learning how to become a scuba instructor.
Right.
It's about understanding the complexities
Yeah.
and the potential for individuals to make a real impact.
I agree, and that's where you come in.
Okay.
As you consider this path. I want to leave you with a thought-provoking question.
All right, hit me.
What kind of scuba diving professional do you want to be?
Ooh.
What values will you bring to the industry?
Yeah.
What changes do you hope to see?
That's such a powerful question to ponder.
It is.
It's not just about getting certified.
Right.
It's about shaping the future of diving and leaving a positive mark on the underwater world.
And remember, you don't have to figure it all out right now.
That's true.
This journey is about continuous learning and exploration.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Kieran mentions some great resources in his book.
Oh, yeah?
Like the Business of Diving Institute and Dive Newswire.
Okay.
They offer industry insights, business tips, keep you updated on the latest trends.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out.
I think I'll do that.
Those resources can provide valuable guidance, connect you with a community of like-minded individuals who are passionate about diving.
I love that.
And who knows, maybe someday you'll be the one sharing your expertise, inspiring others to dive into this amazing world.
I would love that.
I have no doubt about it.
Right.
You have the curiosity, the drive, the open mind to make a real splash in the scuba diving world.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
I think it's time for us to surface from this deep dive.
Sounds good.
We've explored the skills, the challenges, the business side, and most importantly, that unwavering commitment to safety.
Yeah.
That defines a great scuba instructor.
We've only scratched the surface, really.
I know, right?
There's so much more to discover from the technical aspects of diving to the wonders of marine conservation and the evolving role of technology in the underwater world.
It's pretty incredible.
It is.
So keep exploring, keep learning.
Yeah.
And never stop diving into your passions.
Good advice.
Who knows what amazing adventures await you beneath the surface?
So true.
Until next time, happy diving.
Happy diving.
Thanks for listening, and please subscribe to The Immersion Zone wherever you are listening to this or at www.theimmersionzone.com. Thanks. Dive safe.